Greetings, everybody. This is Jacob Rhythmic Dragon with the Foundation for the Law of Time, and welcome to the planetary moon of this blue lunar storm year. This is for Noos-letter of the Foundation for the Law of Time, issue number 139. So again, welcome to the planetary moon. The planetary moon of manifestation has the totem animal of the dog. And the question we ask ourselves this moon is, how do I perfect what I do? So perfect is a verb. It's not necessarily a goal, is the way I understand it. We're always working toward that. Obviously, perfection is not something we demand upon ourselves, but is something we aim for, you know, for the betterment of ourselves and for others. So when we ask, how do I perfect what I do, this is within the context of the planetary service wave spell, where what we are doing is, you know, some service toward the good of the planet, or say, as it's put in the Arcturus probe, leaving this place a little nicer than we found it, which is something I always like to keep in mind. In the planetary moon this year, we are finishing up. Now, if you recall, the last moon, we began a 10-day galactic activation portal sequence that started on Kin 106 White Lunar Whirlbridger, and this first 5 days of this moon conclude that 10-day sequence of 5 more galactic activation portals in a row. So let's just look at the wave spells, and we'll also look at some other cycles that are happening in this moon. So just as we are now in the richness of spring on this hemisphere, and in other hemispheres, of course, we're getting now into the depths of fall. So we're in a point of equalization, moving back toward another, the next solstice, the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, and the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere, as the days grow respectively longer and shorter. So the same is true with this planetary moon. We're concluding the Blue Eagle vision season, the blue galactic spectrum, which is a 65-day cycle coded by the power of vision. This cycle actually ends on the 9th day of this moon, which is going to be April 12th, Gregorian, and that's Celi 9 of this moon, Kin 119 blue lunar storm, which is actually the galactic return of the first day of this year. If you remember, we're in the blue lunar storm year, and so this day, April 12th, or planetary moon Celi 9, is always the same galactic signature as the first day of the year. So in other words, it's 260 days into the year, or you could say the 261st day. We've completed 260 days of the year, and on that day would be the next 260-day cycle from the beginning of the year. Hope that's not confusing. Basically, there's 260 galactic signatures. If the first galactic signature of the year is on the first day of the year, blue lunar storm, 260 days later, it's blue lunar storm. Always April 12th, always planetary moon Celi 9. And what's really cool this year is that day and the following day, April 13th, Kin 120, yellow electric sun, or gamma 10 of the planetary moon, that day begins another season. It's the yellow sun season of universal fire or enlightenment, the yellow galactic spectrum. And that is another 65-day cycle known as a galactic season. So those 2 days are also bridged by a new moon. So that's, again, a nice harmonious synchronization of third-dimensional movements of celestial bodies along with the fourth-dimensional cycles of time, where you have the conclusion of a 65-day cycle and the beginning of a 65-day cycle bridged by a new moon. So that's the seasons that are occurring in this planetary moon. We're concluding the Blue Eagle season of vision, and then we're beginning the yellow sun season of universal fire or enlightenment. Now, within this moon, all 28 days of the moon are contained within the 52-day castle cycle of the blue western castle of burning, the court of magic, which began on red magnetic serpent, Kin 105, last moon. So this 52-day cycle, as I said, it contains this entire moon, and it's going to conclude within the next moon, the spectral moon. So this moon, the planetary moon of manifestation, we're in the blue western castle of burning, the court of magic. And of course, within the court of magic, you have, being it's a 52-day cycle, you have 4 13-day wave spells. And in this planetary moon, we have 3 of those wave spells represented. The first 7 days of this moon, actually the first week, or heptad rather, cycle of 7, the first heptad of this moon represents the last 7 days of the red serpent wave spell of life force. So that concludes on April 10th Gregorian, Kin 117, red cosmic Earth, Celio day 7 of the planetary moon. The following day begins the white mirror wave spell, and we'll have the entirety of this wave spell within this 28-day moon. The white mirror is coded by the powers of endlessness, order, and the power to reflect, of course. So we have all 13 days of the white mirror wave spell, and that concludes on Limi 20 of the moon, Kin 130, white cosmic dog, and that's Gregorian April 23rd. Now, that Kin 130 is also a special point because it represents the completion of the first half of our 260-day galactic spin. So when you look at the 260-day galactic spin as 2 cycles of 130, the first 130 days is known as the cycle of becoming, and the second 130 days is the cycle of return. So becoming, evolving from the source and then returning to the source. So that's another cool articulation point in this planetary moon. After Kin 130, of course, comes Kin 131, and that's the beginning of the blue monkey wave spell with the power of magic. And that begins on Gregorian April 24th, Celio 21 of the planetary moon, Kin 131, blue magnetic monkey. So those are the 3 wave spells in this moon, planetary moon of manifestation, with first completing the red serpent wave spell of life force, having the entirety of the white mirror wave spell of endlessness, and the first 8 days of the blue monkey wave spell of magic. So those are the wave spells, and just to look a little bit closer at the first 5 days of this moon, those are the 5 galactic activation portals. That is day 1 to 5, of course, of the moon, Kin 111 to 115. 5 days in a row of galactic activation portals. Those are the completion of the second half of that 10-day galactic activation portal run. And the final day of that, Kin 115, blue spectral eagle, that actually signifies a 5-day countdown of the completion of the blue eagle season that I had mentioned before. So from Kin 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, that's the last 5 days of the 65-day blue eagle season of vision. So a little tip for you guys who like numbers and like to do some calculations and things, being that a season is 65 days, if you look at it as 13 cycles of 5, 13 times 5 is 65, you could actually see the galactic season as a type of wave spell, where each unit in the wave spell is 5 kin. So feel free to get creative with that. If you feel like drawing up a wave spell template, then you could figure out how to fit 65 kin into there and see what you glean from that. So I believe that covers our wave spells, our galactic portals. We do have one Pakal Votan clear sign this moon, which is on Dali 22 of the moon, Kin 132, yellow lunar human. That's one of the clear signs around the edge of the sarcophagus lid of Pakal Votan. As always, you can find out the basic rundown of that at lawoftime.org/clear signs. So the Kin 132, yellow lunar human, symbolically or in a coded way symbolizes the return of the human to the natural cycles governed by the moon. So the lunar human, the 13-moon lunar human. So I believe that covers it for this planetary moon. I wish you guys all the very best, and I'll see you next moon.